inspirations and guidance for anyone seeking to transform their life and embrace healing on a deeper level. Let me introduce you the remarkable author behind this book. Mr. Sanjeev Verma is not just an acclaimed international art photographer, but also a coach who uses the therapeutic power of visual art to inspire and heal. His career spans 28 years in global leadership roles with multinational companies, during which he lived in Singapore and UK. Now based in the serene beauty of Goa, Mr. Sanjeev pursues his passion for art and healing, blending creativity and transformation to help others on a healing journey. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to welcome the inspiring Mr. Sanjeev Verma to the stage. Let's give him a big round of applause. Welcome, sir. So how does it feel to be here?
Oh, it is amazing. It's like the Mahakumbh of books is happening right now here. The feeling is exactly the same. Over there, people are taking dip in holy Ganges, and here people are taking dip in the wisdom. So I think it's pretty exciting. The environment, the vibe is just unreal.
All right, sir. So now let's welcome the force behind writing this book, Ms. Anuradha ma'am. Please join us on the stage.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that I'm here and this is happening. And the first day, and it is so uncanny that we are in front of the Guru Osho, the person from where I actually, learned about what life is and how actually one has to go inside and find all the answers which we are looking outside in the external world. And the actually inner world is the library, is the answer field, is the treasure house of everything we are looking externally. It's the lab inside, like Osho used to say. And we are the Mahakumbh, and we are the answer. Thank you so much, Sandeep. The first day when he met me, and today, I think he has gone far ahead of me, and he's become the teacher for me now. I'm looking forward for every step he takes, and it inspires me to be becoming more of me. Thank you so much, Sandeep.
I think Radha was responsible for me to actually take a deep dive into the healing world. I mean, we do healing in a very standard way, and we're going to talk more about it. But she was the one who actually started me on the path of true healing. What true healing means, as she said, going inside and finding your guru inside, which is one of the most difficult things, and not many healers around talk about that. They all talk about them being the guru. She was the first person who actually said she's not the guru. She ignited the guru inside me, and that's what she did. So, absolutely thankful for what you did.
I think very, very, very few people are able to walk this journey. It's like it's like walking on the razor's edge. And he's one of the few and the rare of the rare people who could actually walk that path. And it's not easy. It's so courageous from day one until he is here. He actually took those bold, courageous decisions and went inside and took that dip within the Mahakumbh inside him. I'm so happy to be here today and to see your journey of healing. And I congratulate each one of you who is going to read this book and get that inspiration. Each word, I have read this book, couple of pages. Each word actually inspires you to deep dive, to take that courageous action, to be your own guru, to be you. Thank you so much, Sanjeev. Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
I request ma'am to do the honors and read the book.
Thank you.
A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us here. So let's have a Q&A session with our author to know his journey better. So, sir, he- 8 insights into feeling highlights inner work required for true healing. So, what inspired you to write this book? Very cliche question, but we would all wish to know that.
Yeah, I mean, I did not, before writing this particular book, I did not consider myself as a writer. And of course, Anuradha, my healer, she actually said that, this is also inside you, we must express that. But more importantly, it was about the journey which I was going through. I was interacting with some of the other people, and they were also going through the similar journey. So the idea was I needed to get it out because there are other people who might connect with it, and just finding my tribe. So this was more of a cry in a sense that, hey, this is the journey, this is what I've taken. Anybody out here? If you can join the dance, let's do the dance together. So it was more from the perspective of connecting with other people. A lot of people are looking to get healed. There are tons of ways in which people are trying, their own healing journey, and I happened to stumble upon one of million other methods. And the idea was I wanted to talk about it. I just wanted to share that it doesn't have to be a complicated process, because we tend to get into the complications and all that kind of stuff and make it such a huge exercise. And truly living that wisdom, which the old mystics used to say, that the wisdom lies inside, the guru lies inside. There is one Kabir saying which says, "Ye sab guru hai had ke," referring to the flesh and blood people. "Ye sab guru hai had ke, anhad ke guru nahi. Anhad bhitar upje. Ye anubhav ke ghar mai." So only the experiences can give birth to the inner guru, which is limitless. So that was the inspiration for me to actually get started on this.
So the book connects healing with art photography. How did your passion for photography influence the healing insights which you shared?
So, this book is all about my first-hand account of how my art photography opened the doors for those healing. Of course, it required external help, which is why the person is sitting there to get into the inside. But once I started on that particular journey, I realized how much power the visual art world has. A lot of people will think, hey, there are so many powerful techniques around, like past life regression, there is Reiki. Even they are struggling to heal people. How could just some photographs and paintings could actually heal people? I had that question for myself. But that's when I started doing a bit of a research. I went to a lot of places. And just this question popped in my head. We can take an example of one of the, our deities, like Shiva. We feel the power of Shiva because we have seen him in the photographs where he is having a completely toned body, very muscular, standing tall, very serene face. Where did that come from? That is the perception of an artist. An artist actually visualizes Shiva to be in that particular form. So everybody today who is saying that I believe in power of Shiva or any other god or any other energetic form, they're doing that because they have been inspired by some sort of visual art. Somebody created that imagination, somebody created that visualization in their head, and that's what led them to do that. So that gave me the conviction that visual art is not just, like pretty pictures kind of a thing. It has a lot of power.
Definitely, I totally agree with you. So you just
Time when I was deciding whether I should stay in the corporate job or not, when I've been in a very senior most roles, I've been in the global lead role for Fortune 100 companies. But the daily level feeling was feeling stuck. Whatever you try to do, there is some sort of a hurdle here and there. Even on my art photography project, everybody would love that particular thing, but suddenly, one particular company or a client would go on a holiday and the project will get pushed. So you feel getting stuck a little bit. And that's when I realized for my own self that I'm trying to force the pace in a path which actually is not meant for me. I won't say I'm not a corporate person. I've been very good at it. That's why I enjoyed all the perks that came along with it. But it wasn't the path I was meant to do. And the day I took a decision that I'm going to follow my heart, I am going to take decisions which were tough decisions, which included, stepping out of the comfort zone, living in a place where I had no connection with, walking out of a marriage, staying alone, which a lot of people actually dread, giving up the corporate jobs is, people were going to give their arms and legs to be in that particular position. But once I did that, it was almost like by magic things started to happen. Like I was worried about how the finances are going to work because once I start working on my own, how would it go? Believe it or not, I mean, just on the way out, my boss spoke to me and I say, hey, would you mind if we give you some, package as you're exiting the company because we are doing it voluntarily. And that was a huge sum. I had no clue where it was coming from. I was getting contacted by clients with a project which was wackiest of the ideas. I recently went to Khajuraho where I did a photo shoot with actual Tantra yoginis. So shooting them in Khajuraho is one of the dream projects. So the project started to happen, money started to flow in, I started to live my dream of like traveling and making friends around the world, all because I decided to walk my own path. But until I did that, I was forcing the pace. Hey, I need to get a promotion in my job, or I need to win this particular contract, which is forcing the pace. Trying that manifestation thing, but manifesting something which was not meant to be my path. That's how I was self-sabotaging. It was not meant for me. I couldn't get this success translated in those kind of places. So this is one of the recent examples which
Come across this thing a lot in other people and me as well. So yeah, acceptance plays a huge role.
absolutely. I mean, because see, in the day-to-day life, we are still looking at ourselves from the eyes of the society. And if I have to go and say, and I can give my own personal example, which is the first insight I talked about him, is about being brutally honest. Now, I have been on a healing journey for about 30 years. But as I was sharing with you that the real healing started only 10 years ago, and with exactly this particular question, which is, am I being brutally honest with myself? So, what happened was, I was showing my photographs to one of the person in the UK, I used in the UK for a while. And she looked at my photographs and she said, do you feel sad or lonely inside? At that point in time, you have to put it in perspective that I was in a global leadership role in one of the most prestigious companies in the world. I was living in Indian dream of being abroad and, I've been, living in a 7-bedroom mansion, those kind of things. And here's somebody telling that, are you sad and lonely? Now, when of course she said, hey, I didn't mean it that way, but each of your pictures looks like in a way that you want to be somewhere else. Now, the problem for me was, how do I admit to myself that I am sad and lonely person? Because on the outside, I look like one of the poster child for, being successful in life in general. But until and unless I address that particular question and I actually accepted it, my healing journey, because the reason why the last 20 years could not produce permanent effort was because I was not willing to answer the brutal question. Is everything okay inside? Is everything right or not? And when it is not, having the courage to say, yes, something needs to be fixed. So it is a challenge. I have found it to be it works well when people have a little bit of a reassurance from the other person that they are not being judged. So even when I'm talking to some of the people who come to me for advice on this, the whole point is you may have killed somebody, you may have taken somebody's money away, or you would have thrown a bomb. I don't care. You're welcome. I mean, you're still being loved. You're still accepted. People are missing that in the normal scenario. Even a close relationship. People are so afraid to say this is how I'm feeling, or should I say this because I'm going to be judged, or I'm weak, or I'm not taking my life seriously, or I'm not, doing what is required of me. Or somebody will say, hey, you're just being a weak person. It's so important to build some sort of a network where you can feel not judged. and actually are able to open your heart. So once you do that, acceptance becomes much easier. But my point is, until you get to the acceptance, you're really getting closer. So the point is, when people come with these kind of problems, they need a little bit of help to take them. So what I do with them is using certain photographs. I tend to see what emotions when they look at a picture. And I had the experience. I showed one picture to 6 different people, and they came out with 6 different meanings. Because each picture resonates with them differently. So once their interpretation of a picture or an emotion is out on the table, it helps me to dig deeper. So it almost is like an invitation for me to come and visit their world inside. My end goal is A, for them to get aware of what's going on in their inner world, and B, find their superpower and use that superpower to build a life that these issues do not matter. So it's all about creating micro habits, small habits. Like if I was talking about very small change which I made, thanks to her as well in that particular perspective. When I was waking up, when I was in that particular phase of nothing is working, whenever I try, even though I have big titles, when I was recognized, I had my pictures published internationally. I was holding exhibitions internationally, but every project was a bit of a pain. It will take a lot of preparation, funding will come in differently. Same thing was happening in the corporate job. And what I noticed was, in my daily habit, when I would get up, I'll get fresh, brush my teeth, then I'll sit for my meditation, then I'll go and do my exercise, and by then, the day is already broken up, and the phone calls have already started happening, or this project is getting delayed, or that is not happening, my promotion is going to get delayed, and all that. So the world is already taking control of me. So by the time I wanted to take charge and get my inner power to come into the action, I'd already lost the day. I just integrated one habit, out of the art project, which was once I figured out my superpower is creative imagination. Now, what I did started about 4 years ago. I wake up. First thing, even before brushing, I actually write a story or work on a photograph and use my creative imagination to some sort of an effect for 40-45 minutes. So I don't control the time. Sometimes it can take 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. But just that one simple change in the habit, look at what it did. By the time the world has started to, overpower itself on me, my inner power is supercharged. So for me, a project delayed doesn't matter. For me, a promotion not happening doesn't matter. I don't even care. It took me about a month or two to be in that particular place where things were still happening, and I was like, I'm okay, because my inner power is so supercharged. I'm not bothered by it anymore. But eventually what happened, those negative hurdles actually started to vanish. And I started to get projects that I was actually looking for. A lot of people worried about, you're in photography, there's going to be a lot of competition. I have no problem. Not that, I'm a master or something. Each one of the photographer or the artist, they have their own unique footprint. Once I know what my footprint is, I don't have to go and beg for those. They come to me. Same thing can happen for anybody. We're talking to a lot of friends. Once you recognize what your unique footprint is, you stop chasing.
And I am totally blown away by his not only photography skills but artistic skills on the whole, and the way he thinks. And I'm yet to read what all has gone inside the book, because I think I'm privy to a lot of facts which might have gone inside. So, yeah, I wish you all the very best. And knowing you, I'm sure that it has a lot of content and a lot of people.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to me.
My pleasure, absolutely. Thank you.